Starting the stream. Oh my god, we're live. Oh, this is exciting. This is so exciting. We're gonna be doing a, not a tier list, but we're gonna rank all the anime that I've seen over the last 50 days. Now, usually, I do this every 3 months, but I watch too many shows. That's the problem with school and all that, is that there's not a lot going on. So because I have a lot more free time, I can watch a lot more things. Because I don't have a life. um, no, but for real, I have less things to do. So because of that, I can watch a lot of shows. In the last 50 days, I've watched 20 shows. I haven't finished 20 shows. I finished 18, or at least seen season 1 or season 2 of a show. So and none of them were particularly long. I think the longest, I don't even know what the longest was. I'm trying to think. I think Toradora might have been the longest. That was only 25 episodes. Um, but yeah, so just a recap. We're gonna recap. I'm gonna show you the list that I have so far of my favorites. I'm not gonna talk about them because I've talked about all of the past ones so many times before. So we're not gonna talk about them for the millionth time. But I'm just gonna show you a little recap of the list. Very cute. Very nice. Oh man, so many shows, so many shows. And we're gonna talk about each and every one as we get to them. It's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna wait. I need to see if my audio is picking up. Oh, it's not working. Oh boy. So if any of you are out there, let me know and we will do this little thing. But I gotta make sure that all of them that I've seen are here. They should be in currently watching. I just haven't ranked them yet. I haven't talked about them just yet. Oh, completed. I put them in completed. That's right. Let's see. Let's organize it by score. Let's see if there is. There should be 18 shows? No, 19 shows. There should be 19 shows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, perfect. We have each and every show that I've seen, plus Akudama Drive, which is the one that I ranked last time, despite not finishing it yet. I now have finished it as of today. I have finished it. Not as of today. I mean, as of maybe 40 days ago. But yeah, we are here. We are ready to talk about them. I'm kind of stalling at the moment. But yeah. The first one on the list that I'm going to talk about is this little thing called Akudama Drive. Now, basically, it's kind of like this Danganronpa thing. It is made by Mr. Kaz Kodaka, the guy who made Danganronpa, which is a franchise that I have had the most iffy feelings on. Because Danganronpa has always been super popular, even though I would say it's probably the visual novel that's the most messy. Out of the 7 or 8 or 9 big ones, Danganronpa is the most popular by far. You'll see a lot of people on Twitter or Instagram or whatever talking about Danganronpa, cosplaying it, having their own fun guns. And I get it to a point because it's something that you can actually host with your friends. You can have little online Danganronpas. So this one has always been. The reason why I wanted to do suddenly is because I hit 20. I hit the number 20, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to wait till December. December I might have 40, and I don't want to talk about 40 shows. That'll take a bajillion hours. So instead, we'll do it now. At the halfway mark, we're about halfway between, the 3-month point. So might as well do it now. Hello, Quinny. Hello, Finn. Anyway, Danganronpa. What is Akudama Drive? It is very similar to Danganronpa. It's made by the people that made Danganronpa, but also the guy that made Zero Escape. And if you know me, I love Zero Escape. I think it's great. So, what would happen if you combine forces and you make a game? When you make an anime that combines forces, the answer is it's all right. It's all right. I think that it's kind of similar to how Danganronpa often has platitudes where they talk a lot about hope and despair, hope, despair, hope, despair. Love, power, friendship, all that stuff. But it's not really saying anything. I feel like the themes are just spamming the same words over and over again. And that's not the vibe I got originally with Akudama Drive. I think initially I gave it like an 8 out of 10. I think it's actually lowered now to closer to a 7. It's still like, I would say it's worth it. Like, I'm more forgiving if a show is like 12 episodes long, right? I'm more forgiving if a show is like 12 episodes long. But I think my big problem, all right, is that it's a lot of like, it's like having a fan with hot air on. It's not really saying anything. Um, you're just saying like, hey, don't be a bad person. Hey, society is bad. Hey, have hope. Don't have despair. Believe in yourself. Like, what's the message? And I think that most of anything that Mr. Kodaka does tends to have a very muddied message, where the whole message is just believe in yourself. So I don't know. I don't know. I actually do still recommend it. I think that if you're looking for Danganronpa 4, this is probably the closest you're gonna get, other than the other games and anime he's made. This is probably the closest and the most stylistic. The female character is quite cute if you're into that. If you're like certain friends of mine who like cute girls, you'll probably enjoy that. But that's really all there is to it. Um, like it's like I'd give it like, again, I gave it like a 7. It's fine. Now, okay, now to the new stuff, right? That was the one hanging thread from last stream. Now we're gonna go into the new stuff. Are you excited? I'm so excited. There's so much to talk about. 19 shows. We'll go in order. So immediately after the last stream, I randomized what would be my next watch, and it landed on a little show called Konosuba. Now, this is a Genesis rec, and he was like really happy about that. I didn't know why. And when I first watched it, I immediately wanted to shut it off. And this is going to get inappropriate really quickly, but the very first thing I noticed was that there is a female god character, and she's not wearing underwear, and she's very jiggly. And so, like, oops. And immediately, that set me off. That set off my red flags in my brain. I was like, oh god, this is a very perverted show. And it is. It is a very perverted show. Okay, no, it's not a very perverted show. It's a very, like, semi-perverted show. It's funny, but it's to an extent where sometimes the humor makes me really roll my eyes. It's just, okay, this is like the very like low hanging fruit perverted joke, and like I'm not immune to that. Like I've made a lot of jokes in my past that are very easy jokes. Like for example, when a character says "come in" or "I'm coming out," it'll be like, "Oh, I'm gay," you know. So like I'm not immune to that. But Konosuba is the kind of show where I look at it and I'm like, this is very much so for perverted guys. It's an isekai kind of show, where this main character, he gets isekai'd into a fantasy world. He has to do like this whole Dungeons and Dragons fantasy stuff, slay monsters, defeat the thing. Um, the thing is, he's very incompetent, and that's the joke. And it is a funny joke. Don't get me wrong. I do think the joke is genuinely quite funny. But at a certain point, you go like, is this all there is to it? I like the nihilism where you can tell that they're not going to beat the quest because everyone is so incompetent, and his three party members, one's a fucking idiot, one's a fucking idiot, one likes explosions, and one is very masochistic. And like, I don't know, that humor works for me sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like, wow, that was insane. Other times I'll be like, this is too much. I tend to watch these shows, not just for the comedy, but for like the deep, complex characters going through day to day life, dealing with trauma, struggles, and all that stuff. And like, I'm not gonna say like I want every show to be like that. Obviously, some comedies will be comedies, but this is one of those comedies where I feel like it's kind of a shit post, and yeah, I don't know, like it's a funny shit post. I'll give it that. It's a very funny shit post. But yeah, Konosuba, it gets a lot of hate online, and while I don't hate it, I'll still give it a 7. Well, I don't get it. I'm like, yeah, I can understand why the show gets a lot of lots of hate. I still like enjoy it to an extent, but it's like, I don't know. Konosuba gets a 7 for me. It's my thoughts on the matter. Hello, Botrix. Welcome to the chat. Y'all never thought I'd talk about Aqua, the very jiggly sort of girl. Yeah, no, she's been much. Junji Ito Collection was the next one. This was around Halloween. Queenie recommended this to me. Um, and I must say that this did freak me out a little. It's objectively not even that scary, but I think that the animation being so laggy, I guess, really made it scarier. These are stories from the horror writer Junji Ito. I never really known much about him other than he makes very specific and graphic phobia pictures. Um, but the Junji Ito collection is not that scary, but because I'm a weenie, it did like freak me out sometimes. More so than other contemporary horror media, and maybe that's because it is closer to my life. Like, most American horror movies, they don't ring to me because I'm not American. Like, this might as well be set somewhere else. But because this takes place in Japan with more familiar settings and people that look closer to me, it's like, oh my goodness, this is like genuinely kind of scary. This could easily be in my neighborhood. It's more like casual Japanese villages as opposed to big metropolitan like cities or suburbia or whatever that they take place in the U.S. Right? And I think that helped it be kind of scary. That being said, it's supposed to be a manga, right? There's supposed to be a lot of detail, a lot of build up and suspense, even jump scares when you turn the page. That kind of gets lost in translation because it's an anime, and I can't say that it was very good at times. There were some episodes, and maybe I'll do a tier list in the near future of the specific episodes that freaked me out. But there were some mostly involving um, humanoid characters that just look like demons. Those are probably the scariest, where it's so graphic. You can see like the wrinkles and the sharp teeth and the pimples on their face. That freaked me out a lot. Um, those are the ones that I'm like, hello, Mara, welcome to the stream. Those are the ones that made me go, oh my god, so scary, so scary. I'm gonna give this a 5 because, like, I don't know, It's like average. I um, I don't think it was poorly produced or anything like that. It was just, it's just like, you know, not the most scary thing in the world. Next up, we have, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this because this is basically a sequel. It's a different show, but it might as well just be called the Junji Ito Collection Part 2, Tales of the Macabre, um, which is slightly better animated than the first one, of course. It's still, like, not the greatest animated work of all time, but, like, the pacing was a little better, the animation was a little more fluid, it was a little less scary, but it veered off more into shitpost territory at times. There was this one episode with the ice cream, which I think is the best episode of either show. There's an ice cream episode that's the funniest thing ever. Um, the animation is a little more gruesome, but it's not a whole lot scarier. Again, it's only scary to me because I'm a bit of a wuss. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give this a 5 as well. I don't necessarily think one is better than the other. Well, okay, maybe this one's a bit better because it has better animation, but yeah. It's an anthology series. If you want to check it out, go for it, but I would recommend you read the manga itself. It's a lot scarier, it's a lot more suspenseful, it's a lot more artistic. This feels like a bad adaptation, because it is a bad adaptation, and yeah, I mean, I don't know, that's all I gotta say for that. Ice Cream was hilarious. The Ice Cream episode was so good. Um, it's so abrupt as well. Like, I don't know how to describe it other than this is genuinely one of the funniest horror things I've ever seen. There were a lot of episodes. There's one with like marionettes as well, puppets that like didn't freak me out, but like it freaked me out in a way that it was so unexpected. It made me laugh a lot. But yeah, no, I would recommend reading the manga instead. Next up, we have The Promised Neverland, and Shaw recommended this to me. This is the first Shaw recommendation in a very long time, actually. I don't know why she just randomly thought of this. I said like, hey Shaw, it's Halloween. I need a Halloweeny sort of spooky show, and she recommended this. She said that she doesn't watch a lot of like graphic sort of shows, but she's a big fan of AOT and Promised Neverland. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of contradiction. But you know, I think that this show is one of the best 12 episode shows. I think a lot of people already talked about how much they love The Promised Neverland. It's similar to Death Note in a sense that it's a bunch of different parties trying to outsmart one another, and they're coming up with plans, and there's a lot of like secret rooms and backstabbing and coming up with 40 level chess plays, and there's double agents and all that stuff. It's great. It's really great, and I don't know, you really get to empathize with the characters. Again, you only have 12 episodes, but I feel like it makes the most out of it, where even the villains are kind of like, you can kind of see where they're coming from. There's a lot of suspense going on, finding out the history and the lore between the worlds. This is probably like the one supernatural show that I'm actually hooked on. It's a shame, again, that this series never got a season 2. It only ever got one season. Um, but, that one season was really, really damn good. I view it as kind of like a shorter Death Note, and I know that's really weird to say because Death Note is such a staple of anime. But yeah, no, The Promised Neverland. I highly recommend it to anyone who, especially if you don't know what it's about. Right? If you don't know the specifics, please go check it out. It is so good. It is so short as well. You will have a blast. I had a blast reading this. This really reinvigorated my okay, it's not even that scary, honestly. Like it's more of a thriller than horror. There's a lot of suspense and a lot of like spooky things going on, but yeah, I'll give it a 9. It's really quite nice. The marionette one and the long hair one was okay. I forgot about the long hair one. The long hair one was also very scary. I'm trying to think of like this. There was one with like monks that was like some of them like don't have endings. Is my problem. And I think that's the point because it's like, oh, how are the characters gonna survive? Maybe they won't survive. Maybe they died. But I feel like sometimes it feels natural. Sometimes it feels very abrupt. Very like there's more, but you have to read the manga. And it's like, no, I don't want to read the manga. I want to see the finale. Whenever the Junji Ito collections had ongoing stories. There's one with Tomi. There was one with the kid. I forgot his name. It's like Soshiro or something. Shoichi or something like that. I don't remember his name. The demon child. And one with this boy whose name begins with O. I forgot what his name was. Whenever it's like you're seeing one chapter out of like a 6-7 chapter manga, it's like okay, this is kind of yeah because I want to see the full thing. I don't want to see just like one isolated chapter where you don't have the context. But it's fine. Like the standalone stories were some of the better ones. I kind of want to have a live group watch. Some of them are like genuinely scary. Some of them are like shitpost scary, and some of them are just funny. So it's like I don't know. It'd be fun to watch. 100 Soichi, yeah, that's his name. Soichi. The bully one is that's one of like the scariest ones just because like it has nothing to do with like the supernatural. It's like very like oh this could be real. This is like real world. Yeah, people can be bullies. So yeah, Promised Neverland, very good. Next up, we have Gon's recommendation. It was called the Classroom of the Elite. No, sorry, this was the longest one. This was 36 episodes, 37 episodes, and I do think that for the most part, this one was. I think now that time has passed, I like it a little less. It kind of has the problem that I've always complained about with shows like MHA, for example. MHA is a big one. AOT, kind of. Chainsaw Man is a massive one, where they introduce too many characters at once, and you don't really know them. You know their name, you know their face, you know like their very basic traits, but you don't know them, right? Maybe if you're into aesthetics, you're like, oh, I like Shinji Ishimaru. He's cool. Shinji Ishimaru. He's my favorite character. And it's like you don't know anything about him. You just know what he looks like. Which is weird because this show has the time for it. It's 37 episodes, but it really jumps from arc to arc to arc really quickly. Again, it's kind of like another Death Note, Promised Neverland show where characters are coming up with strategies to double cross one another and outplay the other. But I feel like it's better explained in the manga because in the anime they really have to rush. They can't show you the nitty gritty. They can't show you like thought bubbles maybe of the characters. We're really jumping from one scene to another, and sometimes it just feels really abrupt. Um, you know, I do think that the protagonist is really interesting because he has everything that I would like in a character, except he's not. I think he's missing one crucial element. He's kind of like the Byakuya type, where he's very monotone. He seems to have this exterior where he doesn't care about others. He's very cold. He's like a leader in the shadows. He's like the mastermind pulling strings. But he's kind of like he doesn't care about other people. I think that's the big thing that I like about the Psyches and the Byakuyas of the world is that you can tell that even beyond their cold exterior, they do care. They just have rough ways of showing it. Um, the main character in Classroom of the Elite kind of doesn't have that, and the show treats it like it's this big twist sometimes where it's like, oh, he doesn't care about you guys, he's using you, but it's like, it's not really a twist. Like, we knew that. We knew that he doesn't care. Um, I don't know. It has a lot of fun characters. I just wish we got to know some of them more. There's some really good developments here and there. Like, I can't even say, like, oh, the beginning was great, or the ending was great, or season 1 was great, because, like, they're all, like, good. They all have, like, good sprinklings of really fascinating plot lines. It's just my issue is that these things tend to go a little faster than they should. Like, if they had more room to cook, more time where you're hanging out with friends, get to know some of the other characters, get to know them personally, their traumas and their little backstories, flashbacks, that would be cool. But we don't do that. We really don't do that. I don't know. It's really a lot of school activities where the characters have to try and outrank one another, and I do think that can be fun. But I don't know. It's a little too fast. It's a little too fast for me. If it went a little slower, I'd be happy. I love Classroom of the Elite, but I think the seasons can be inconsistent. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I like the show. I'm not gonna say anything bad about it. I'd give it another 7. It's one of those things where I feel like if I read the manga, I'd like it a lot more, where I got to know the characters. But being an anime only watcher, I only know like the very bare bones of the characters. So yeah, that was a Gon rec. We were talking about it. Gon seems to like it, and I see why he likes it. I get why. It's very good. I would recommend this to most people. I would recommend this to most people if you are okay with protagonist being sort of unfeeling and if you're okay with a Byakuya character being the protagonist, then you probably enjoy this to a decent extent. But why I like Byakuya characters, is because they do care a little, and this guy he doesn't really care. And you can tell that like it's not even like his arc will be like I learned to care about others. It's just he doesn't care. So I don't. Maybe that's fascinating to some people. It's like, is he gonna be a hero? Is he gonna be like a hero, a villain, an anti-hero, an anti-villain? I don't know. We don't know yet, and I'm excited to see season 4. Like I think there's room to grow, more time to cook in the oven. Yeah, pins and takes very good and valid. Yeah, no, it helps that Broske is not here. Broske would. Speaking of Broske, this is unintentional. Broske, the next one is Hajime no Ippo. It's the show Broske loves. It's his hyper fascination. He's been a fan of it for the last 20 years. He loves it so much that he'll go on to reread it. It's longer than One Piece, and he'll go read it. I think only once, to be fair, but he loves rereading it, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I wish he would watch some other things, instead of being stuck to one thing that a lot of people can't really talk about because they don't really know it. But that's besides the point. Hajime no, where is it? It's called Fighting Spirit in English. I wonder if I would call this Fighting Spirit, or but because Broske insists on calling it Hajime no Ippo, I'll call it Hajime no Ippo. This is the Broske recommendation. It is I've only seen season 1 to 12. I've only seen episode 1 to 12. Season 1 is like 75 episodes long. All I'm going to say is that it is very, very tropey so far. Now, Broske reassures me that the show is generally fairly tropey, but it eventually does veer off into different directions where you learn a lot more about the characters beyond, oh, I'm a protagonist, I'm going to fight to win, oh, I won, yeah. And to be fair, I do think the show is starting to plant seeds of that, where the boxer characters, because he's a boxer, right? They have motivations against why they want to win, why they are the way that they are. And I think that's interesting. It's just very cliche, is my problem. It is a lot older. I think this came out in the 80s, so that it does make sense why it's a bit more cliche. But even JoJo later on the list is like cliche in a way that is consumable. I don't know about Ippo, Hajime no Ippo. Just because it's like, I look at this and I'm like, this is something Broske probably got into when he was very young, when these sorts of tropes were still very new, like maybe 2006, 2005, 2007. It was probably like what, Pokemon is to me, is what Ippo is to him, right? It's very like cliche, but we do have a soft spot for it. It's just, watching it now as an older person and seeing how it takes 12 episodes to, okay, MHA, how it takes Deku like maybe 8-9 episodes to enter the school. That's kind of what's going on so far. It's like 12 episodes to really build up into him getting into his first boxing match or whatever. So I don't know. There's also, and this is not like an actual criticism. This is just a point of contention. There's no women in the show. There's like a mom character, and that's really it. It's a lot of guys. It's a lot of like masculinity, which is like it's fine if you're into that. If you're like Tam and you like having all guys in your show, then that's okay. But for me, it's like, ugh, I don't know. It's a lot of macho-ness, and I'm not like the most macho guy. I'm not like super into that. I'm gonna give it a 4. I can't say I'm not gonna say I've watched 75 episodes because I haven't. I've only watched 12. But 4 is bad, really? Like I'm not gonna call it bad. I don't think it's bad. It's just like it's a hard pill to swallow as someone who was, only got into anime in last year, right? I only have like a little over a year worth of watching. So yeah, there we go. That's me rambling about it. Broski will watch this later, and maybe he'll have comments for me. But yeah, I love evil protagonists. I love the guy. I love the guy. It's just I don't know. It's interesting to see various opinions on the guy Ayano Koji. Lengthy way of calling Broski old. How to roast Broski while sounding professional. Hard, extremely easy. Pokemon was the same for me. Soft spot, but a bit cliche. I love it. For real, yeah. Yeah, no, Broski, he's old. I don't know if I would recommend any of you to watch it. I don't know if you'd like it. I don't know. It's very like, it's the most tropey thing I've seen, right? It's the most cliche tropey thing I've seen. It's like, watch the movie Planes by Pixar or whatever. Planes, the Cars spin-off or whatever. That's basically Hajime no Ippo, right? The difference, of course, is that Ippo gets more episodes. Maybe it'll get better. Toradora is next. Toradora, I did not think I would like this. I'm really tired of romance stories, to be honest. I wasn't tired back then, but I am now, definitely. And I kind of understand it. A lot of the people who watch anime in the server are more so into the romance um, storylines, the cutesy ships and all that stuff. And I get it. We're not very okay. Look, okay, we're not a very masculine server. I think the only one really is Brosuke, right? I think that Gon, Benji, and Genesis are more, the other males on the server. They're more so into more effeminate or neutral works, and that's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with that, of course. But because of that, the recommendations will veer towards that direction more so, and there's nothing wrong with that because I really do like Toradora. I didn't think I would like it just because people were telling me you're not gonna like this. It's a lot of stuff you don't like. You're asexual. You don't really like romance. You don't like meandering storylines. And I'm like, no. What are you talking about? I fucking love this. This is awesome. Toradora has the perfect combination of it has a small cast, right? It's kind of like a Bebop, I guess, where the cast is so small, it's not introducing a bajillion characters at a rate like 20 miles per hour, and because of that, you know them pretty well. There's like 5 main characters, technically 4. Like the glasses guy, he's not really that relevant, but I love all the characters. I love the little shenanigans they get into. Taiga is so great because she's so hostile. It's actually hilarious how she's always getting into fights with the main guy. And I don't know. I think that there's a lot of emotional core themes going on, a lot of subtext, a lot of just what it means to be a high schooler going into the future. I don't know. It's 25 episodes, but I really don't think there's any time wasted. I feel like maybe the first 1 or 2 episodes are a bit slower, but at a certain point, it's just yeah, I really dig this. This is really solid. I'll give it a 9. It's super fun, and no, this is the great. People have told me that this is the very first really big mainstream romance anime, and I can see why. I think despite being out in 2007, I think that it still holds up to this day. I don't know, I quite like it. I think maybe it means a lot more to me than some other people, not because I'm better or anything like that, but just because it has a lot of the events, I guess, a lot of the events and a lot of the more familiar settings and storylines that you would get if you lived in Asia, right? If you would go to an Asian high school, you'd be like, yeah, I experienced that. Yeah, there's this school festival, this cultural school festival with the stuff going on, and we go to the beach and stuff. I'm not Japanese, but it's very similar to it's not the same, but it's very similar to what I've experienced in my high school. So it's great. It's quite great. I love Toradora. Planes and Hajime no Ippo, I've only seen one, so I'm gonna need to see that to compare. Yeah, no, Toradora, it's great. That's probably the biggest shock to people after I finished, and I was like, I like Toradora. Fuck you guys. Thought I wouldn't like it. I love it. It's more than meets the eye. Next up is Baccano, and I don't want to spend too long on this one because it's very confusing to even explain. Baccano is the kind of show, right, where you have a bajillion main characters. It's not actually a bajillion. It's closer to 20. You have 20 characters, and the story is told out of chronological order. The story is told, it's split up into different timelines, and it's shown out of order. And because of that, you don't really get to know any of the characters. The thing is, though, it's more intentional than, let's say, an MHA, because some characters are literally just their basic traits. And that's okay, because the show is compensating for that because of how it's framed, right? It's not, I guess it's kind of like a mystery as to what's going on, and because things are told out of order, you can piece together, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. It's really fun. It's a really fun watch. It will give you a bit of a headache because there's a lot of names going on, there's a lot of settings going on, some things you'll be like, wait, I thought that happened, but the story is sometimes told in reverse order. But if you can piece it together, it will really start to take shape. The first episode is very confusing, though. The first episode, I've seen a lot of people drop it because they're like, what the hell is going on? And it's yeah, the first, spoiler, but the first episode is the chronological ending of the show. So you get to see a lot of the ending points of where the characters end up. And then every other episode after that is a big jumbled up mess. I'm surprised no one's ever made a chronological cut because I feel like that would enhance the experience. I know this was very unpopular. This was a very unpopular show back in 2007, which is why no one really talks about it. But yeah, Baccano, Miranda recommended it to me, and I do say this is quite a good rec. Quite a good rec. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I quite enjoy it. This is kind of, I guess this is what I wanted out of Akudama Drive. If Kodaka, the creator of Danganronpa, was a bit more intentional and direct and subtle with his themes, I would say that Bacano is probably what he would make. But yeah, no, I mean, this is honestly, this is like Bacano is what Akudama Drive wants to be, and I'll leave it at that. Go watch it. It's very fun. It's very fun. It's very confusing, but it's also very fun. Toradora is definitely the best recommendation y'all have ever recommended me. Yeah, no, I love Toradora. I didn't recommend it to you, but yeah, no, I'm happy that y'all seem to enjoy it. I know it's Leo's favorite. I think it's also Jenny's favorite, but I think that's because of Leo. I wonder how much of it is him being a simp. But no, it's a very good show though. I don't get me wrong, very good show. Maybe not number one, but I can understand how people who are more prone to romance and romantic feelings are would like the romance genre more than I do. Like I enjoy it. I'm not gonna say I hate the genre. It's just like it's not like my desire, right? I think my desire is always deep backstories and seeing how the past can affect the future and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Cause and effect, all that. Next up, we have Buddy Daddies, and this is like Noel's recommendation. I think Noel's only recommendation, and this is like a perfect 10. This is like I would give it an 11. I put it in my Google sheet. I gave it an 11. I don't. There's no 11 here, but this is a masterpiece. This is like the best 12 episode show. It is so tightly written. It is so cute. It is so like you will have like extremely violent scenes, but then extremely cute scenes, and I can understand how that can maybe appeal to no one because people who want the cute stuff will have to see a lot of violent stuff, and the people that want the violent stuff see a lot of cute stuff. But for me, I like both. So it's a really good balance. It's people have said it's like Spy Family but gay, and I don't think that's entirely correct. I think Spy Family is like three different people who are trying to hide their identities, even though Anya, the child, knows the truth about it all, more or less. Buddy Daddies, it's not really like that. Like they're not really trying to hide anything. It's more like the two parent characters are trying to hide it from like their agency or whatever. It's a very good show. I'm a sucker for really cutesy parental stuff, so this really got to me. It's so I don't know, it just feels so tightly written. It feels like there's no wasted time. Every episode is such a bright bundle of fun or deepness. There's some like really funny jokes and there's some really like weird cringe stuff going on too. But like I feel like it adds to the absurdity of the situation, right? It's not even gay. Like I think the biggest complaint I have is that people call this gay X Family, and it's like it's not gay. I'm not like it's like I think calling it gay is a bit like deceptive because the two guys aren't like gay for each other. They don't like kiss or hug or make out or anything like that. They're just taking care of the same child. Like it's gay coded. It's definitely gay coded, but it's not gay. Um, Yuri on Ice, that's gay. Buddy Daddies is gay coded, right? Um, so I think if you want gay representation, this will like only kinda do that, I guess. But yeah, no, it's definitely it's a very surprising 11 out of 10 for me. Like this is like one of my favorite shows, and yeah, no, I it's not as good as Psyche or Spy Family, of course, but it's still up there. So yeah, the three shows that I would say are like perfect 11 out of 10s. Two out of three of them are about people taking care of a kid. People who aren't even married or dating taking care of a kid. It's weird. Maybe that's just that's just what gets me. I don't know. Um, Jenny likes it because he's a simp. Duh. I mean, it's true. He likes any show with other girls. Yeah, that's why he. I don't know. That's why he likes Chainsaw Man. But yeah, Buddy Daddies is amazing. It's got such a nice balance. It's entertaining. JPEG smiling to himself as he ranks the wholesome anime 10 out of 10. I don't believe it's cool. Agreed for me. No gays. Yeah, yeah. It's really not gay. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like I feel like it's clickbait when people say it's gay Spy Family. It's like it's not gay. Like what? Like they're just raising the same child, but they don't have romantic feelings towards each other. That's a different show entirely, and I would watch that. That sounds cool, but it's not this show. Um, you know, that'd be an interesting show though. Like two gay guys taking care of a kid they don't own. That'd be interesting. Next up, we have Great Pretender, and this one is another. This is Mandy and Gone recommendation. This is the show that I will recommend to any like newcomers in like Emer. Like he's a newcomer. I would recommend Great Pretender just because it is Japanese, but it's very like American inspired without being like overbearingly American. I think Chainsaw Man is an example of a show where I look at it and I'm like, this is the most American thing ever. What the fuck? Great Pretender, or maybe American's the wrong term. Very like international show. They go travel abroad. You see different characters of different nationalities. You get to kind of not amazingly, but you get to see different cultures and all that, different settings, locations, and maybe to someone that's not into the Japaneseness of anime, they can be like, okay, this is more like a neutral territory where it's a lot of international hijinks. it's like kind of like a heist thriller, so people are always double crossing and trying to debate one another, and it's basically a heist. It's like that one episode of Rick and Morty where they do a heist thing. It's like that. They're constantly trying to one up each other, and it's fun. There are four arcs, and each arc focuses on one of the four main characters, and I think that's very fun. I think it's very balanced. Because of that, you get to know all four of the main characters pretty well. This is one of the best balanced shows, I feel, in terms of its main cast getting a relatively equal amount of screen time. Um, I don't really have any complaints for this. I think the last arc is a little too fan servicey, but it's like, you know what? The show's ending anyway. Might as well. I think this actually will get a continuation as well. I think that there will be another season in a year or so. But yeah, Great Pretender. Also, the outro. The outro is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. It is Queen Freddie Mercury singing, but like with cats, and it's amazing. I love it's my favorite Queen song at the moment. I don't usually like Queen because it's overplayed in my high school, but Great Pretender. Please watch it. Well, okay. If you like anime for how authentic and Japanese it is, then you're probably not gonna enjoy Great Pretender because it's very international. But as someone who is international, I quite enjoy it. I quite enjoyed it. So go give it a watch. It's good Gone Rex. Gone is pretty good Rex, I would say. I think JPEG would like shows the combination of wholesome stuff that makes his nihilistic. You're not wrong, Amaro. You're really not wrong. That's funny. But also, Deep has other stuff going on besides the initial premise. That's true. That's true. I know. I like me some cutesy stuff. It's great. It's great. Great Pretender. I don't think any of you have seen it, but I give it a 10. It's not an 11. Like, again, in my Google Doc, I gave this a 9.7. So this is not like on the same tier as Spy Family Psyche K, which I would say are 11 out of 10s, but it's still very good. Still very good. All right, how many shows do we have left? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Oh my god. I thought Great Pretender was like one of the last ones, but apparently I watched 9 shows after it. That's kind of surprising. Next one I was very disappointed by. Okay, next one. I have beef with this one. It says Gone Wreck, but like, to be fair, Gone did warn me. Ghost Stories. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Ghost Stories. Oh man, I watched this in one day because I was sick of it, and I have OCD, so I have to watch things in one sitting. Look, I'm not going to talk bad about Ghost Stories too much. I'm not going to talk too much bad about it. It is shitpost dialogue. It's very offensive. It tries to piss you off, but that's the point. So at a certain extent, I can be like, okay, they pissed me off. It's very racist. It's very homophobic. It's very edgy. They call kids whores. There's so many unnecessary sexual jokes. But that was the point, to make the most outrageous thing ever. So I get it. That being said, I think that whenever you go on YouTube, you type funny ghost stories moments, you see like 20-minute compilations. Those are the only funny 20 minutes of the show. You might be like, oh, I'll watch the anime because there's probably way more funny moments. No, those 20 minutes are the only funny minutes of the show. Like, a lot of people will quote the same, like, few jokes over and over again, and you might say, oh, this is a great show, there's so many quotable moments. No, it is only those few quotable things. It would be like if The Room, which is a very quotable movie, you're tearing me apart, Lisa, like all that stuff. If that was like a 12-hour movie, like, yeah, it has funny lines, but you're only citing like 10 minutes out of 12 hours. I if you have like shitpost humor, like Daniel has shitpost humor, I'd recommend it to Daniel. Then I would say give this show a try. But if you get bored, which you probably will pretty early on, then just drop it. Just watch the compilations on YouTube. The compilations are funny. I'm not ranking the compilations. I'm ranking the whole 6-hour extravaganza. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 5. I get it. I get why people like it. But when they say they like it, they only like the funnies. Okay, they don't like the whole show. They just like the 20 minutes of jokes. That being said, I don't like the story about it just because it's very similar to Imperialization, where it was made in Japan. They gave it to the West, and the West was like, "Hey, let's just shitpost." Like, a lot of people cite the story where it's like the Japanese people said, "Do whatever you want to save the show," and the Americans, they messed it up. No, they did not. It's like, oh, the show is unpopular. No, the show is not unpopular. It's like, I guess because it strikes so close to me as an artist, I don't want to give my show to someone else and they kind of like change the entire vision of it. Kind of like Disventure Camp, where Mr. Karazar, he changed the entire vision of DC2 into something very perverted and very nasty. I don't like that. I don't like that when that happens. So maybe that's why I'm a little more sensitive to that. But yeah, no, I'm more of a purist when it comes to art. I don't mind it if like localization and like dubs change a few things, but they went a little too far with this one. Um, and like I get it, Like the voice actors probably didn't know any better, and they all had a good time. I can't cite it too much for that, but it's a very like sore subject, I feel. So yeah, that's my take on ghost stories. Moving on. Ghost stories. I can't believe you forgot about Abel. That's true. There was a lot of Abel. Oh god. Oh god. Look. I don't hate it because that was the point, to piss as many people off. And did it piss me off? Yes. But like hey, that was the goal. It achieved it. So fair enough. I don't really hate many things. That's not okay. We're about to get one show. It's not as bad as a Kamiga Kill, but it's very very close to a Kamiga Kill. We'll get there. We'll do Tokyo Ghoul next. Tokyo Ghoul season 1. I only saw season 1. This has to be one of the biggest condensed things I've seen, where it's very clearly a 60, 70 chapter adaptation from manga in only 12 episodes. There's too much content to fill in that small amount of time. And really, at times, it does feel like an advertisement to the manga. I think that it has good core components about the characters are spoilers, but the characters are ghouls in Tokyo. I think it's cool. I think that the horror is pretty well done. I think that the existentialism could use a little work. But it's just something that there are some, like, I love the 2013 to 2016 era because that's like my childhood. But this is one of the few things in that era that I was like, this feels a little too 2015. A little too like we haven't reached our potential just yet. And maybe this explains why people like stuff like Chainsaw Man, right? Or Demon Slayer, because this was the base foundations maybe for the genre of the supernatural elements and the horror of what it means to be like a demon or whatever, to evolve to a point where you can branch out. Maybe this is like the base foundations. This is well, I guess this is the Ippo, the Hajime no Ippo of horror, maybe. But I don't know. I didn't hate it, but it was definitely underwhelming to me, just because I feel like they didn't explore enough. I think the protagonist, this is like one of the few shows where the side characters don't steal the show. Like the protagonist he's not like the most generic protagonist ever, but he's like, he's kind of leaning there. He's probably the most interesting thing about the show, and they don't even show him that much. And I was like, dang it, why can't we go back to him? He's probably the most interesting thing about the show. The side characters are kind of like, they're all right. But yeah, I don't hate the show. I'll give it a 4. Same with Ippo. It feels very very tropey, I would say. Very tropey. Very very tropey. Give it 4. It says 4 bad. I don't think it's bad, but it's just like, I don't know. Maybe if I watch the next season, it'll be a little better to me. But yeah, I don't know. It just screamed, just like how what's a good example? I don't know what a good example is. I don't know. Just like how Ghost Stories screamed like 2010, 2000. No, not even 2010. Like just like how Ghost Stories screamed like 2005, 2006. Tokyo Ghoul screamed 2015 to me. It's like, I don't know. The rest of the seasons got worse, Lamau. The first season was pretty solid, need a lot of work, but like the characters were cool, some clear stories, but you could have done better. It's good that you stopped at season 1, yep. Kamiga Kill. Next up, we have Mashley, Magic and Muscles. This was a Robin recommendation. I think, Quinny, I think you actually recommended this as well. This is interesting because it has a lot of similarities to this, like, genre. I don't know what to call it, like, overpowered protagonists, but that's the joke genre. Where you have characters like Mob, or Psyche, or Saitama, where they're just super overpowered, they can do whatever they want, and they get, like, maybe not, like, bored of it, but their whole life is centered around the fact that they can break society. I think that's a very fun genre, and I think that this show is it wants to have its cake and eat it too. It wants to be a show where the comedy is that, like, he can do whatever he wants. He goes to this Harry Potter wizarding school, but he doesn't need to use magic. He's just like, he's too dumb and too badass to really worry about it. And everyone's like, what the frick? He's not even trying. How do we beat him? And that's fun. That's super fun. Like, I love that part of the show. I thought it was going to be a full-on Harry Potter, like, parody, kind of like how One Punch Man is like a superhero parody. But it's not really, because it veers off into typical shonen where it's like, we must defeat the bad wizard, we must take him down into the corridors of evil, take down, come on friends, let's go use the power of love and fighting and magic and being a good student. And it's like, what? I liked it more when it was like a slapstick comedy, slice of life kind of show where he's just doing classes and he's being just like a dumbass. That was great. I don't know. My big complaint about One Punch Man is that a lot of the comedy is okay. There's a picture of Saitama where he says okay. It's like, oh, I will destroy you. You are nothing to me. And he's like, okay. That's my problem with Mashley, is that I feel like a lot of the jokes are just like, oh, he did it. He doesn't care. Okay. And then he just moves on. It's like, okay. It can be funny, but I think the show really needed to expand on its world, expand on how the protagonist feels. Like Saitama, I don't like One Punch Man that much, but at least he has moments where he's like, "What am I doing? If I can just beat anything, what's my purpose in life?" Mash, the main character, he doesn't really do that. He's kind of a ditz. So yeah, this it's not bad. I'll give it a 6. It has fun themes and existentialism going on, but it's like, again, Psyche kind of spoiled me on this kind of thing. If I'm at a point where I think Saitama One Punch Man does it a little better, then that's not a great sign. Like I like One Punch Man well enough, but yeah, the okay sort of humor is like, it's not for me. It's really not for me. I don't know if any of you have seen Mashley. That's the problem, but it's okay. Next up, we have School Days. School Days, very I don't like this show. I don't like this show. I don't know, why did Broske recommend this to me? This is so obviously something I don't like. It's so like, it's not that the characters are unlikable. That's okay. That's completely fine. Watching, in fact, I like those shows more where the characters are just unlikable and they're always bickering and they're always double crossing and just being rude to each other. I love that. I know a lot of people, Adventure Camp, also Cobra Kai kind of, don't like it when characters are just being cynical. It's like, that's how teenagers are. Teenagers, even some adults, are very like unnecessarily hostile and unwilling to empathize and all that stuff. That's fine. It's just, I don't like, it's very inappropriate. It is not as bad as Prison School or even Konosuba, but it's so nasty. Like, all the characters, like, I don't even want to say some of the stuff they do. It's really nasty. And like, there is, again, it's like Ghost Stories where there is one redeeming quality of the show, but it's at like the very end. It's like 5 minutes at the end. It's like, was that worth it? I don't even think it had that much build up. It had a good amount of build up, but not that much to the point where it justified it. I don't know. It's all right. Like, I don't hate it. It's just something that I'm like, why did I spend so much time watching the show where like none of it really mattered in the end? And I get that's the point of most shows. Like, none of it will matter. You're just watching a show. If you're not going to take away any important lesson, what's the point? It's like, we watch it for entertainment, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'll give it a 2. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know why Broski rates this so high. There's like, if he rewatch again, I think this is something he probably watched like 10 years ago, and he probably thought it was funny. But it's like, nowadays, it's like, maybe not 10 years ago, but like 7 or 8 years ago, he probably saw it. It's something that I'm like, there are other media that have really expounded on this, and because I'm someone who watched it in 2024, I look back and I'm like, this is very bare bones. Like, Doki Doki, Danganronpa, Higurashi even. It's like, School Days comparatively is like very, very, very basic. And like, there's no character that like you really, again, it's not that I don't really care about characters to relate with, right? That's not my problem with shows. There are a lot of shows out there that are pretty great without any characters that I relate to or empathize with, but it's just like, it's the sin of like, they're both unrelatable and also we don't know them that well, right? We don't know this character and we can't relate to him. It's great. Broske and JPEG, the best bros until it comes to anime. Oh boy, Broske hates the Countess days. Oh god, it was nasty. There's some stuff that I feel like I'm going to jail for watching, in that show. Like, there was some stuff that I was like, I can't watch this. I'm gonna go to jail. But yeah. Bropeg stays strong until School Days is mentioned. Lesson of School Days is don't be a dick. I guess so, yeah. I guess that's the main lesson of School Days. So yeah. Let's see what's left. There's not a lot left. We're almost out. Oh god. Kaguya-sama, Love is War. I did not finish this. I did not even finish a full season. Season 1, not because I don't like it, because I love this show. This show is awesome. It's just the fact that there's just too much romance going on in the last few shows. I just like, okay, I need to take a step back from even like quirky sort of humor. I think there's very like maybe I'll do a tier list on the types of humor that shows have. Like School Days is definitely like everyone sucks humor. Mashley is very like okay sort of humor. Tokyo's not even cute. Like this is kind of like the level of quirky humor that you get from Konosuba. This is the kind of humor that Jenny likes, and I like it to an extent. But I was like, I wanna take a step back from it. I like Kaguya. In fact, again, I'm only 6 episodes in. I would give it a 9, honestly. Maybe a 10. I will probably raise it to a 10 once, not 64. I'll probably raise it to a 10 as I get to know the characters more, see the more of the gimmicks. You know, it's the story about a guy and a girl, and they're not ENTJ, but they kind of act like it. They're like student council presidents or whatever, and they both like each other, but they don't want to be the first to admit it. It's like it plays on like that romance satire that I think is pretty good. It's like a parody of romance. So it's like they're always having like battles over who will confess first, and it's like I understand the appeal, but it's just not now. I've seen too many quirky things. I need to take a break from quirky for a while, but I love it. There's this one girl that is very like fan service bait that I'm kind of like she's like a cute character, but it's like it's too much. It's too much. You're like jiggling all over the place. I don't want to see this. Like I want to. Look, I'm human. This stuff is cool to me, but it's like not all in a row, please. I'll watch the rest of Kaguya season 1 and season 2 and 3 because like it's very promising. It's just not right now. I'll give it a 9 for now though. I really like it. It's like what's another example? It's like, maybe not Prison School, it's not a good example. Like something like Death Note, something like Death Note. It's like it's a good show, but maybe if you're like if you're not in the mood to be like sad or existential, you probably don't want to watch it, right? If you're more in a comedic mood, you'll probably not want to watch Death Note. It's kind of this. I'm not in a comedic mood right now. I don't really want to watch Kaguya. Okay, put it on hold. I'll put it on hold. I like it though. I like it. It's great. Broske put you on a watch list. I'm probably on a watch list because of Broske. So thanks, Broske. And the thing is, he didn't know. He was like, "Oh, I forgot about all the naughty scenes." And I was like, "Broske, this is like the whole show. You only remember the last 5 minutes? You recommended me a show where you only remember the last 5 minutes?" Oh my god. There are some subplots. I'm not gonna say them out loud, but oh man, School Days. Ooh. Sensitive subject. Next up, last 4, Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. It's very good. It's very good. I mean, it's not entirely a satire as something like Kaguya or Konosuba or Psyche are, but it does deconstruct a lot of the archetypes where a lot of the characters feel like they are meant to subvert or deconstruct what the usual archetypes are. The main girl, firstly, she isn't from Japan. She's a half Russian, and that already adds a unique layer of like, okay, she's international. She's like kind of a fish out of water. This is her first time. Maybe your classmates are like a little judgy towards her. She has this cold exterior, but you can tell she cares a lot. You have this sister character who usually the pervert character is a guy, but you have the pervert character as a girl, and she's always putting herself in really inappropriate positions and all that. The guy is actually like relatively smart. He's always commenting on the tropes of romance and all that. I don't know. It's a really fun cast where even though I feel like, you know how Chainsaw Man ends in a really unsatisfying place where we're just starting to begin to know the characters, and then it's like, nope, see you guys in 4 years. Bye bye. You'll get to know more in 4 years. This is one where I don't mind waiting. I'm like, yeah, this cast is so fun. I don't mind this being the only season for like maybe a year or two because it's just very comfortable. I feel it stopped at a very natural place in the story. I think that the dynamics are just super, super interesting, and I don't know. It's just like it's not nearly as like strategy heavy as Classroom of the Elite or Death Note or Promised Neverland, but there is a level of like deception going on, and, like self identity, just these sort of themes that you don't usually get in romance, and that's why I like it. Broske also loves this, which surprised me because like I know Broske is a romantic person, but I didn't think he would like this sort of cutesy romance, but he does, and that's great. Yeah, no, this one easily like 10 out of 10. I can't in good faith give it 11 just yet because I feel like there's still so much more. Oh, that's Kaguya. That's not Alia. Yeah, no, Alia, really great show. Really, really great show. Like, holy crap. Like, this feels like I don't want to be too overbearing because I know it's like it's like it's well known, but it's not like popular. But I feel like this could easily be the Toradora for the 2020s. I feel. Again, maybe I'm a novice. Maybe I just don't know my shit because I don't. I'm really new to this. Maybe there's a lot of other shows that I've never even heard of that are even better than this. But right now, this is something that really what I needed after all these romance shows with quirky humor. This is the one that I was like, okay, we're really it's kind of like it's weird to say because Psyche was the second thing I watched, but Psyche felt like this is deconstructing anime. Alia felt like it's deconstructing the entire romance genre, and I quite like it. I quite like it. I quite like it when they do that. Wow, oh, you're all gone. Dang it, I was talking about Alia. What the heck? Oh well. Last two. Last two. Are you guys excited for the last two? It is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo's very strange and bizarre and weird adventure. It's only 9 episodes. It's kind of meh. It's kind of alright. The characters kind of nothing. Very basic themes of good and evil. I do like the historical setting, the Shakespearean allusions and parallels and all that stuff. It's really great. Really plays on Victorian era storytelling. It's also only 9 episodes. It's like whatever. It's fine. There's not a lot of jokes and there's no women in the show, but okay, there's one woman, but she barely appears. Um, I'll give it a 7 just because like I think this is the origin story. It feels like a prologue, and I can't be too harsh on that. I do like the I've only seen the first 9 episodes, which is the first arc, Phantom Blood. I can't be too harsh on it. I'll give it a 7. I do think it feels very artistic. It's one of those shows where it's more for the aesthetics and the art. Not art as in like the visual art, but like the art as in like the writing, where it feels very it feels like I'm going into a museum and I'm reading history, and it's like maybe that's not the most interesting thing ever. Maybe for most people, that's not super interesting. But I always liked history class because history to me in school it's like telling a story, and sure that can be like kind of boring, but I don't know, getting to see like these sorts of historical stories, especially in anime format, is really appealing to me. So yeah, it's one of the weirdest. Like I wouldn't consider it like it's honestly like if I were to judge it based on an anime, um, alone, yeah, I mean, it has a lot of flaws, but I do think that there is a level of charm that I quite like about it. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. It's just charming. Um, Even Ippo, which I don't like, I can appreciate the historical relativism on how like there is charm. This was like one of the first, even if it's a bit janky at times, and a lot of stuff before and after feel a lot more up to date. I don't know. I quite like it. I quite like it. Okay, two more, two more. Oh, there's the chat. No, we love you, Gooby. I just didn't say anything. I just wanted to. I ran too long, but oh yeah, that's why Genesis dislikes JoJo. Y'all are too kind. JoJo is fancy. Okay, okay. I do like Alia deconstructed about tropes based on romance. Alia is so good. Is on top of its rom com plot. It sounds like the drama. Yeah, Alia. Like I said, I don't know if it's because I've seen so few, but this one really feels like what's the word? It's very monumental in terms of it's again, it's not the most popular thing ever, but I hope it gets steam eventually. I know Spy Family um started in like 2020, but it only really got big in 2022, 2023. So hopefully Alia picks up steam in the next year or so. Because I think there's a lot of potential going on there, especially if it gets a season 2. Like Chainsaw Man is already big and it doesn't even have a season 2. But Alia is only season 1. It's already great. So it's like, what? Why are we not hyping this up? Okay. Anyway, Konosuba, second last one. Konosuba. Actually, not. Let's save Konosuba for last because Konosuba was actually the first one I talked about, so we'll save that for last. Actually, No Game No Life. This was the Moran. Where is it? Oh, it's on the list. No Game No Life. Oh, what? It's here. Where is it? I've only seen 3 episodes. I can't fairly judge this at the moment. This is just gonna be my like, stream of consciousness ranking right now. No Game No Life is it's kind of like Alice in Borderland, the live action Netflix show, which is also Japanese, so it does make sense. Maybe that's a bit of inspiration. I'm gonna say completed just so that it's on the list, even though I haven't completed it. Um, it's also something that hasn't even continued. It had one season in 2014 and then nothing. It's a bunch of light novels, I think, which continues the story if you're into that. It's kind of like fantasy world building where you must play games to like win stuff, win bets, win arguments, like chess, for example, or checkers, or Monopoly, or cards, right? You have to win games to get what you want, to succeed, to be the royal leaders. And it's about these two siblings who they basically just either through skill or cheating, they get all the way to the top. And it's kind of funny to see them destroy a society. They're kind of like the hikikomori types who destroy the culture from within because they're from an outside world. I don't know. It's a lot of like it's a lot of stuff that I don't like because it's very horny. It's a little too horny, and I don't really like that. But I but it's also a lot of like maybe not strategy, but it's also like a lot of like smart emotional family moments. So it's this weird balance of like it's kind of trashy because it's there's a lot of like sexual stuff that I'm not the biggest fan of, but at the same time it's like it has, you know, good themes, good values, good like what it means to be someone who has good game sense and cares about your siblings and all that. I don't know, it's just some of the incest jokes are really like ugh, I don't like them. They're really like out there and just shocking. Again, I'm only 3 episodes in, but I think that this will probably be like a 6 or 7. I'll be generous. I'll give it a 7 right now. It has 9 more episodes to prove itself. There's also an Ace Attorney. There's also a really great like Ace Attorney segment where they go objection and they play like the music. And there's like a judge and it's great. But yeah, no, I mean because I know that this is just a season 1 and there's no season 2. It's been 10 years. There's no season 2 and I know that it's a much larger story, and I'm only getting a very small introduction to the world. I don't think it can really fully develop the world or the setting that much, but it's alright. I wouldn't recommend it to any of you watching at the moment, just because it's like I don't know. It's a it's a little too male gazy, is what I would say. That's like a term that Shaw tends to use a lot, which I agree with. Where it's like this is clearly for men who are perverted, like Konosuba, kind of. Konosuba and No Game No Life are kind of like that. But yeah, trying to think, what's the example of like a female kind of gazy show? Buddy Daddies, I guess. It's kind of great. There's no like overtly sexual stuff going on. Not off the top of my head, but I had some examples. But yeah, no, it's a very male gazy kind of show, which yeah, I don't know if Miranda likes it, but maybe it gets better. Maybe it'll round about in the next 9 episodes. We'll see. All right, last but not least, I need some. Oh yeah, Yuki. Who's Yuki? Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. That's right. Because Yuki's like a boy's name in my head. I forgot. It's a sister character. To think a lot of these animes are so well known, but you really only know about it when you watch it. Yeah. Yeah. All right, last one on the list. It is Konosuba again. This is the spin-off featuring the little girl character who likes exploding stuff. Um, I don't know. I don't know where I would put this, to be honest. Where I already lost it. No, it's not. I have to do this. There we go. Here. Um, I think that the Konosuba world is interesting. It's like an RPG where you have to like yeah, fight monsters and the monsters are like quirky and all that. This one is better than the original Konosuba. I'll give this one an 8. I gave the original Konosuba 7. I'm giving this one an 8. Um, I think that it's more grounded story. You get to have a character arc. You get to know the character of Megumi, who's like the most boring out of the main characters in the original show, but in the spin-off, because it's her spin-off, you get to know her a lot. You get to know like her motivations, her history, her backstory, why she is the way that she is, her struggles. She goes through the different locations that the characters do in Konosuba. You get to see like what really motivates her to do her day-to-day life and all that stuff. You get to see like her mentor and her backstory. It's a lot of great character building that I don't really see in many prequels. This is the only show on the list that's a prequel to something else, and I think that's really great. This really proved that like maybe when in the West with like Star Wars and stuff, they don't really do prequels that well, but this one is a really good prequel. I would recommend this to many people, even if you haven't seen the original Konosuba. I would recommend this. Maybe the humor will be a little too perverted as well, but it's great. The main character in Konosuba, he's such a pervert. and he's so rude, which I don't have a problem with because that's the joke and it's great. But getting rid of him is such a great thing because now you can tell a more grounded hero's journey, I guess, kind of. And like, yeah, I think that this loses the satire and the sarcasm and the nihilism going on, but it's still a fun watch. It's yeah, I would recommend it to. I don't know, maybe I only like it because I know the original Konosuba is a certain way. So maybe to an outsider who doesn't know Konosuba, the spin-off is very like basic and maybe it's cliche, but like after just the extreme amount of sexual stuff going on in the original Konosuba and incompetence going on, having something that's a bit more competent, only slightly more competent and way less sexual is like this is a lot more refreshing, I feel. So yeah, there we go. Give it an 8. That is it. That is the 20 shows I've watched. I've been rambling for an hour and 6 minutes. Oh my goodness. My voice is starting to go away, but that's okay. There we go. I've seen 52 shows. 52! It's great. Good thing I like women. What even is the female gaze? For Skate, maybe? This point, I'd love to see you write your own anime. That's this Venture Camp All-Stars. Good thing I like women. Um, Female gaze kind of shows like they aren't necessarily like okay, like male gaze are kind of the shows where the thing is like, oh, it's a girl, she's a damsel in distress, she has like big boobies, we have to save her, and then when we rescue her, she'll love us and kiss us and have sex like that's the male gaze kind of show, and it's like I tend not to like those kinds of shows, even though I myself am male. It's just like I don't know, I like it's very superfluous, it's very like self-inserty. I don't like it. I don't like it. There are a lot of shows that are like that. School, not school. Prison School is kind of like that, but the male characters get punished. So it's kind of like this weird line of like, yeah, it's perverted, but also the male characters are getting like shamed for it, and they're always like getting karma. But at the same time, you can tell they enjoy it. So it's like it's this weird balance. Broske tends to like shows that are more masculine, like JoJo. Obviously the characters have big jawlines about legacy and family and fighting for good and evil, and Hippo, which is boxing show, right? So yeah, Konosuba is definitely. I'll do a tier list one day of like the male gazy sort of shows. Kono, yeah, Ippo is definitely one of them. I'll do a really quick tier list if you the Genesis Conan genre. I mean, yeah, yeah. He doesn't want to admit it, but it's like yeah, he tends to like that with anime, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it makes his what he likes and what he likes less. It's like I see a pattern going on. I see a pattern. Um, I say Broske likes manly things. He likes school days and Higurashi. So I'm like that's not entirely fair to Broske, but you know. Yeah, very Broske is very traditional. So here is the oh my god, I only have 36 things left. This used to be like 50, now it's only 36. Am I actually gonna finish my list? Probably not, but we'll see. We'll see if I can even come close to. I mean, I know One Piece isn't on the list, but it's not on the anime list, but it is on the list, my personal list. So that one's gonna take a while. But Gintama's probably not on the list. I'm gonna remove this. I saw like the first few episodes. It's it's okay. It's like 200. It's not worth it. I want to remove that. If I hear good thing, like this is from someone in the DC server. If I hear good things about it from someone in the GDP server, I'll give it another try. But yeah, no. But yeah, 35 things on the list. I'm probably gonna remove Bakuman as well because it's like a viewer recommended me, not a person in the GDP server. But I don't know. Maybe it's promising. Who knows? Maybe I don't know. We'll see. Here's my Rex. I'm just hello, broske. Welcome to the stream. Go home, says Amaru. Yeah. I don't know what's next right now. I'm after No Game No Life, which is Miranda's Wreck. I'm gonna randomize it actually. I'll tell you what, I'll randomize it. That's what I did last time. That's how I got to see Konosuba, and I don't regret seeing Konosuba. It was very charming. If very perverted, but it's very charming. Alright. We're gonna randomize it between 1 and 35. Whatever it lands on will be the next thing I see. Are you ready? This is after No Game No Life. Let's see what it is. 15. Oh god, I'm worried. I am worried. What is 15? Okay, well. Okay. Well, I guess that's what's next. I guess we're watching the daily lives of high school boys next. You're lucky, broske. You're so lucky. Oh man. Oh man. River. I don't know what Banana Fish is about other than like drugs and like a nice blonde guy. Well, I guess that's what's next. Broski's next. I mean, it's short. At least it's short, and he says it's funny, but we'll see. We'll see if it's funny. I want to write little descriptions for each of them. Um, that's what I did last time. We're gonna. I know Maru does that as well in her list, and it's kind of funny. So I'm gonna put little descriptions. All you sometimes hides their feelings in Russian. I don't even know where to begin. One time where I actually like the male romance lead. Helps that he's subversive. No, helps that he's smart. Usually, like the male protagonist, like very dumb. Out of order, Pulp Fiction, nonsense. Good luck figuring out what happens without a name guide. Beast and Zootopia. Oh, I should probably put the description before the rec. Actually, that's a good idea. Oh my god, my computer shut. Oh wait, 1 second. My computer shut down. My second monitor shut down for no reason. What the? 1 second. You guys chill for a bit. I gotta fix this. But yeah, let me. You know what? I'm gonna randomize the second time. Daily Lives of High School Boys will be the one I watch immediately after No Game No Life. Which sounds fun. Like I know it's kind of about like these three guys and they like do subversive stuff and like that's what I love. I love those things in shows. So maybe Broske is cooking. Maybe Broske has a wreck in the oven that will appeal to me. Why is my second monitor not turning on? That's not good. That's really not good. What happened? Okay, it's turning on. I can't see the chat, you guys. I can't see the chat. There we go. I told you I'm a cook. Broke my PC. You think I have a PC? You think I have a PC? No, I have a Mac. Okay, we'll do one more. We'll do one more. 8. What is an 8? Let's see what's an 8, you guys. Is it banana fish? It's not banana fish. Oh, it begins with a C or a D. Is it Dandadan? Is Dandadan even on the list? No, it's blue. Oh, it's Blue Lock. It's Blue Lock. Yo. Oh, okay. Blue Lock. That's like Benji's wreck as well. Yeah, I'll go check that out. I like Dandadan. Dandadan is something I've heard is pretty good. If you guys have any recs, let me know, please. I will add it to the plan to watch list. Again, I know that it's this endless loop of me asking for recs, me watching shows, me asking for recs, but like, I'll add One Piece to the list. No, yeah, I'll add One Piece to the list. Why not? Is it called something else? Is One Piece called something else? What? Okay, whatever. Um, Dangers in My Heart. Never heard of that. Let's see. Never heard of that. Okay, it has a Japanese name. Let's see. I've never seen this before. Okay, I thought that was something else. I got really concerned for a second. Okay. Probably some spoilers there, but that's okay. I'll add, yeah, that looks promising. That looks promising. Sorry for another romance, but it's more dramatic than comedy. Okay, that could be interesting. Yep. All right. Buddy daddies. Name is sus, but very, very wholesome. Holy shit! It's not gay X family, but it's close. Classroom of the Elite. The girl lead is fun. Male is very static, but he has a backstory that is interesting. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to be funny right now. I can't. Fighting Spirit. Broske's fave. There you go. You just get Broske's fave. Ghost Stories. Don't Lie. You saw a compilation on YT and laughed for 20 mins, and that was it. Great Pretender. This is the perfect show to a beginner show, aka show to Emer. Um, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Junji Ito, scary old ladies. Other Junji Ito, ice cream. Kaguya-san, Shay Frillis really likes this, so of course I have to dislike it. /S. Konosuba, who could have guessed that Konosuba can be interesting when it gets rid of the perverted sexual male protag? Konosuba, bounce. Okay. And I get that it's realistic. Okay, I get that girls in real life do that, but like, it's like they'll just like walk and it's just like it's like going everywhere. It's like it's so ugh. Every time it happens, it just makes me roll my eyes. I'm like, come on, we don't need to do this. Mashley, Saitama, but not existential. No game, no life. So incestuous. Holy shit. The sound effects help. Again, I get it. I understand that that's how girls work, but I don't need to see it every single episode, okay? And it's like different girls. It's so like it feels sexist, honestly, at times. But yeah, bit of a wreck, but it's yeah. Why not? I don't mind movies every once in a while. I think like at a certain point next year, I'll probably try to watch like, movies instead of TV shows, just to change things up a bit. But yeah, Shea Frillis shade. What do you guys think of Shea Frillis? I don't mind Shea Frillis. It's just like sometimes the humor always like, oh, I can't do this. Oh no. What am I gonna do? Oh, the characters, they were acting really stupid. And it's like, oh, what am I supposed to do? You use the ray gun! That's my best Shea Frillis impression. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while, but his humor annoys me a lot. It's very Konosuba humor, I'll tell you that. School days. You like this for the last 5 minutes. Also, the guys have nipples for some reason. Let's get I Promise Neverland. Shame. I know Imara put this in her, but I'm gonna copy the joke. There's only one season. Tokyo Ghoul, best manga advertisement ever. Toradora, people said I wouldn't like this. Fuck nah, I love this. Okay, that's about it. He's a lame crab, man. I'm indifferent about him. He's alright. He's a cool guy. He's alright. Like, I don't have any beef about him. It's just like, if I had because I actually have talked to him on Discord once. If I, like, had a convo with him about media, he'd probably be cool. But, like, in his videos, he has to be, like, quirky and appeal to YouTube. And it's kind of like YouTube's like, hey, guys, welcome to my video. Welcome to my YouTube video. Today we're going to do the top 10. I hate this so much. It's like, oh, turn it down. Turn it down. Just be normal. Like, turn it down a bit. I have ADHD. It keeps my attention. I don't know. Oh, fuck no, I love this. Okay, just for you, Quinny, we're gonna do something interesting, okay? Just for you, Quinny. If I can find... Oh, I don't know about this. Okay, never mind. I was gonna do a ranking of the Junji Ito collection short story, or the anthology, but some of the images might scare you guys, and I don't want to do that. And also, I don't remember a lot of them, so I can't do that. Sorry. Okay, just for fun, give me a tier list, and I will do it. Preferably something that has to vaguely do with anime. I'll do it. I'll do a tier list. I don't know, like a genre tier list, or like a character tier list, or whatever. It can be of any of the shows on this list, or a combination of shows on this list. Either of them would work. Anime trope tier list. I already did that. Well, we already did that with Broske. If you guys can find me a good like tier list, then sure, I'll do it. I'll gladly do it. But yeah. So yeah, we're gonna congratulate some things in the top 10 club. We have Great Pretender. We have Buddy Daddies. We have Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. Toradora barely missed the mark. 9 out of 10, still very good. Promise Neverland, also 9 out of 10. Kaguya, at the moment, 9. Maybe could change. I've only seen half of season 1, so maybe that'll change. And yeah, that's about it. That's all the ones that have been added to my Hall of Fame. Anime couples. Anime couples. Give me a tier list. No, give me like a link to a tier list. If you guys can find a decent one, I'll rank it. Arrow. I'm not Arrow. I'm Ace, but I'm not Arrow. Um, yeah. And honestly, I don't even know at this point. Like maybe just the pandemic fucked with my brain. I don't know. But yeah, they're quite graphic and horrific, but it's all good. No need. And anime genre sounds fun. Danger's in my heart. You like that, Enderlights? Okay. Sure, why not? You're male, right, Enderlights? Yeah, we got a guy and a girl recommending it, so maybe it'll be appealing to everyone. Who knows? They're most. I don't like have a problem with like gendered shows. Like I enjoy a lot of shows that are like more girly. In fact, if anything, I have problems with shows that are too manly. If anything, like if there's like a lot of masculinity, like macho ness going on, I'm kind of like I'm kind of less uh, insightful on it. Like Hajime no Ippo, it's a big one. It's a very manly show. I'm like I don't really know about that. But yeah, I'm gonna look up a tier list really quick. Tier list. Maybe I can rank stuff. I don't know. I don't know. What should I rank? I'm fresh out of ideas. Ippo slander? That shit won't fly on my way to your house. Yeah, good luck. You have to fly across an ocean. Do genres. Yeah, let's do genres. That's probably not that's not too long, and it's like I don't need to know specific. I could just do like media genres. Honestly, I don't even need to be anime genres. Okay. All right. This. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh fuck. Okay. Wait. I typed anime genre and it just popped a lot of hentai. I'm like, no, we're not gonna do that. That's not what we're gonna do. That is not genres. That is like shows. Anime genre? Genre anime? Why are there no good tier lists? I can't find any good ones. It's annoying. Dangerous My Heart is more of a masculine show, but it will resonate well with people of mental struggles who've had a dark period in their life. Oh no, he's traumatized. It's very wholesome though. Yeah. Dangerous to the Heart. I don't know. I think like even though a lot of people tend to not like the schlocky like Demon Slayer, JJK, MHA, like the shonen, JoJo, those kinds of like traditional shonen shows, I'm kind of in the mood for one just because it's been a really long time. The last one I saw was FMA, and that was really good. But I've mostly seen like shorter shows or like lower stakes. I don't mind seeing a high stakes, schlocky shonen every now and then. I don't mind. Especially because like some of the big ones, again, Demon Slayer, JJK, I've never like I don't know what the hell that's about. You know, so yeah. All right, this seems decent. We're gonna do this. A lot of romance, but it's fine. What is Jose? I don't know what Jose is. Who's Jose? Who's Jose from Redonkulous Race? I don't know what that means. I'm gonna Google Jose. Audience of adult women. Okay, all right. Are there examples of it? I don't know if I've seen any adult women shows. Nope, none of this. I haven't really seen this. And I assume that because it is very specific to Japanese women, it might be a little more niche. Like, Fruits Basket, that's not specific to Japanese women. One Punch Man apparently is a Jose show. That's surprising. Because I'm in love with the villainess. I know Shaw loves that one. I saw a few episodes of it back in the day. It was pretty good. I don't know if it's considered Jose. I don't know. I don't know if I can rank that one. I haven't seen it. Oh, okay. Oh, it says anime though. Shonen is for younger men. Okay, Mecha. I know what that is. It's like Gundam robots. Like if it was Western, it'd be like Transformers. or whatever. Um, I haven't seen any, and I probably won't like it. I don't really like, you know, robots that fight. I don't really like action that much. Like some action is cool, like something like MHA, superheroes punching each other. That's cool. But I don't like it when you have just like endless fight scenes. Like that's not something I really like. Any anime genre, really like more of the subgenres, more like realistic, but like human moments. Like honestly, high school, but because I have so many stories of my high school. But whatever you consider Psyche K, where it's like satire of life, like slice of life satire, I guess. I don't know. The meta fiction, I guess, where it's like very meta. Gurren Lagann, godlike. I'm not opposed, okay, because I haven't seen any mecha shows. I know Neon Jenny Benny Evangelion is on the list, so maybe I'll see that one day. But I don't know. Shonen isn't really a genre. Yeah, shonen is so wide, it's so varied. I don't mind it. Like there are times where it can feel meandering. It can feel very like we're just filler episodes, and it's just power of friendship, and it's just like cool kids learning to fight for themselves, and like that can be appealing. It's like comfort food. It's that time again. Well, we just ended Miranda, sadly, but you can watch the video. Kaguya and MHA both shonens. Kaguya is not a shonen, is it? That's like romance, isn't it? Shoujo, I don't want to rank low. I don't want to rank low. I'm gonna add like no real experience. Yeah, no real experience. I don't really have experience in these genres. The closest thing I saw to a shoujo show is probably Madoka Magica, and again, I don't dislike it. I just didn't get it right. It's not because I didn't dislike it. I just was not smart enough to understand what it's going for, and I like for the most part what it set up, but like I don't know what's going on. I'm not as cultured. What is it? Co-med? What is this? Comedy. Co-med. It's comedy. Comedy's great. I don't know why Gintama is the poster boy image. That's like, I mean, I've seen a few episodes. It's like it's good humor for like the schlocky 2004 2005 Cartoon Network era, but like I'm past that. Kaguya is seinen. Seinen shonen does not mean action. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, Japanese teenage boys. Modoka Amo is better if you don't like. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Like a lot of things. Like again, I like if you're gonna see something like The Boys, you need to understand just the bare basics of like the superhero genre and like what it's parodying in the first place. Yeah. Harem. Oh, I fucking hate harem. I fucking hate harem. If it's like again, all of these things, if it's subversive, if it like deconstructs and put like spins it on its head and it has something new to say, then it's great. But if it's just like bare bones, straightforward harem, it's like no, I don't really like that. I really don't like that. Saint, what is seinen? I don't remember. Youth. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's just youth. Youth. That okay, okay, Kaguya Seinen, Youth, Berserk, Psychopass, Steins Gate, Kill la Kill, Bebop, Berserk, Monster, Jenny Benny Evangelion. Yeah, no, I mean, okay, Seinen, put an S. It's great. Lots of like some of my favorites are in that genre. Kaguya, Bebop, Psychopass, ooh, Chef's Kiss, Steins Gate, oh, Chef's Kiss. So yeah, Kill la Kill, ooh, lots of great ones. Lots of great ones. A lot of stuff that I'm gonna check out soon, like Monster and Berserk. And honestly, I might invest in the genre. This genre seems to be like the one for my age group. Asian men, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. Code Geass will be exception to the mecha. It's one of the best shows ever. Yeah, shall recommend it. What is this? Madomo Muke. Kodomo Muke. Never heard of that term before. Kodomo Muke. That is intended for children. So like Doraemon, Pokemon, Hamtaro. Okay, I mean like, yeah, this is like really for children. This isn't like, oh, baby daddies, it can be for kids. No, like this is like extremely for kids. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'll give it C. Like, it's not for me, but Pokemon every once in a while is pretty great. Like Yokai Watch seems to be interesting. Doraemon looks wholesome. It's like, if the kids like Sonic the Hedgehog, Astro Boy, all that stuff, it's like okay. If a kid can enjoy it, then more power to it. Yeah, Seinen is now that's my type. I like Seinen. Seinen's good. Jose is like adult women. I don't know. I don't think I've seen any adult women shows or shoujo. Jose or shoujo, I haven't seen too much. Slice of life. Ooh, slice of life. That is tough. There's some really good ones. There's some really mid ones. There's some really like good tropes that I love. There's some tropes that are like, oh, I don't like it. I'm gonna give it a B. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a B. I'll put it above shonen. I'd rather see a slice of life than a shonen. Obviously, too much like slice of life romance can be a bit like tiring, but overall, I quite enjoy it. You know, yeah, I would count Psyche as a slice of life, and I love that show. Pokemon is not for children. Okay, gotta watch Acxeleon. Okay, next up we have adventure. Oh, adventure, adventure. Like I think shonen and adventure kind of link up together. Is this Hunter x Hunter? No, this is One Piece. One Piece, Hunter x Hunter. These are all like the. Oh, I guess Hunter x Hunter is also shonen. But I think adventure is great. I haven't seen too much where it's like they're traveling new worlds, they go to new islands, new countries. They're trying to. Fullmetal Alchemist, I guess, is adventure. That's a great genre. It's just it's not necessarily specific to they're all just like male boys learning to be men or whatever. But like I love the adventure genre. I need to see more of that. Sports, I've only really seen Ippo, which I think is tropey, but also Skate, which I think is great. So it's like I'm gonna say C. It's not like something I look out for, but if it's really like beautiful looking and the players are all like you can tell they have friendship going on, it's like yeah, that's great. That's really great. I'm really entertaining. Normal. I love slice of life. Itch. You know what? Look, I'm a guy. I'm gonna put in C. I'm a guy, but I like it better than harem. Okay, I don't like these. Well, okay, I'm gonna put Mecha no real experience, but yeah. I mean, I don't like harem. I really don't like harem shows. Like I think it's a little different if it's a people call this like a reverse harem. I think Fruits Basket was a reverse harem, and I thought Fruits Basket from what I saw like 4 years ago that was pretty neat. But I just don't like the idea of like a guy with multiple girls and he's like, oh no, what do I do? I have to choose. Oh, I'm gonna disappoint them. It's like I don't really don't like that trope. Um, uh, I think Ecchi has potential because at least it is like comedic. Harem just like frustrates me, but Ecchi can be comedic. Yuri is like girl, right? I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen. I don't think I've seen any like LGBT shows. Buddy Daddies doesn't really count. But yeah, I don't think I've seen any like strictly LGBT shows. Interesting. Yaoi as well, no real experience. I think that's more of a manga. To be fair, I think it's more of a manga genre. But yeah. Have you seen Haikyuu? No. River likes it. River and Shaw watch it from time to time. I haven't seen it though. I don't know if I'll like it though, but we'll see. Head off now. Yeah. Bye bye. JPEG hates gay people. No. Maybe. Romance. Romance. I would put romance in. I would put romance in high C. Yeah, it's not like bye Quinny. Didn't you literally say you just watched? Yeah, I watched it. I didn't get it. Um, like Joey can't hate gays. V is one. I'm not gay. Um, like I've seen I've probably seen like one like Yuri Yaoi show, probably manga in my life. Probably read a comic in the back of my memory, but like I'm not gonna count it as experience. I've only seen like one show, right? I didn't get it because like every video essay I watch on Madoka, it will be like I love how it deconstructs the genre, changes the tropes. Like spoilers, but there's like a cat character who I think like if you're used to magical girl shows, you're like, oh my god, this is the best friend character that'll help. But like right off the bat, I'm like, this cat is evil as fuck. I'm like, what? And I think that hurt my experience because like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like Monokuma, but maybe in a magical girl person, they think, oh, it's like a Pikachu, it's like a Doraemon, it's like cute, It's gonna. I don't know. Like that's like a really weird example, but that's just one example of like how I didn't get the satire. I want to revisit it when I do get the satire. Does that make sense? Like Alia is so good because I get what it's satirizing. Like it's so easy to think that like everyone has the same amount of like anime knowledge, but like I really don't. I'm really behind. I've caught up really well, but I don't know a lot. So that's a shame, Bill. Um, like I enjoyed Madoka. I would enjoy it more if I knew what it was parodying. So yeah. Anyway, Supernatural. It's a shame Queenie left. I really don't like Supernatural. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest, I like fantasy more. Supernatural, which is like stuff like demons and stuff, right? Demons and devils and spooky creatures. It's like, I don't know, Chainsaw Man. I didn't like Chainsaw Man. I didn't like Tokyo Ghoul. Those are the two big ones I feel. So maybe it's about the shows, how they're produced. Maybe it's about the genre. I don't know. I'll give it another try with other shows. I think Promised Neverland is also a supernatural show. It has supernatural elements, but it's not a supernatural show. Um, yeah, I'll give it a D. It might just be coincidence though that just the few supernatural shows I've watched just so happen to have other problems that aren't specific to the genre. But yeah, no, sci-fi I love. Sci-fi's S. Sci-fi's S. Easy S. My favorite genre by far. Steins Gate, Bebop, Psychopaths, like they're all amazing. Zero Escape kind of. That's a visual novel, but like there's a reason why I like it so much more than Danganronpa, right? But yeah, Akudama Drive is kind of sci-fi actually. But yeah, it's great. I love that genre. Even like Back to the Future, Star Wars, all that stuff. It's great. Blade Runner. God, I love sci-fi. Mystery. Ooh, mystery. Oh, what is this monster? Huh. I like mystery. Mystery's good. You're like an A. Give it high A. I think sometimes mystery can be kind of like predictable because they're not like doing the usual format of like Western mysteries, and that's okay because it's made in Japan, so obviously it's gonna be a little different. But I think more often than not, it's like you can kind of tell what's going on. The mysteries aren't like fair mystery where it's like they don't put enough clues so the viewers can't reasonably deduce it. And I'm guessing it's just because they've had centuries of different writing styles compared to the West, where you have like Arthur Conan Doyle or Agatha Christie who structure their mysteries a different way. Um, but yeah, I think like it can be hit or miss, but I think more often than not, mystery tends to be pretty alright. JPEG, did you just take a crack at JPEG's human name? Name's Joey. I think that's my name. Fantasy. I put fantasy at B. Fuck, my computer turned off again. God damn it, broske. What did you do? I put fantasy at B. It's not something I actively search for. Stuff like ReZero, Konosuba. It's like I think they mean a lot more to someone who likes that genre. But me, I prefer sci-fi. I prefer like future technological advancements of like how society evolves into being very like individual and lonely compared to fantasy where it's like more in the past and it's like, oh, we're all one community, we're all one group, well, we all need to work together to defeat the king or whatever. um I don't know, I wish there was like a D&D but for sci-fi. That would be interesting. You could probably just brew your own home campaign, right? But yeah, no, I've never been a big fantasy guy. Like I don't I like I'm more of a Star Wars guy than a Lord of the Rings guy, if you catch my drift, I guess. But yeah, hentai is going in Northern Experience. Um, I'm not gonna comment on that. Action, I don't really like action. I'll put it in like C. It's all right. It's all right. I don't think like, oh, this is the most epic scene, Todoroki versus Bakugo. This is so epic. Oh my god. Um, yeah, it's all right. Last but not least, we have Isekai. I really do not like Isekai. I'm not gonna put it in like D. I don't hate it, but going to another world. I know that like Japanese people love it. People in the West are more indifferent to it just because it's so common and repetitive. But like even me, who I've only seen a handful of things, I'm like, I get it. I get the tropes. I get like the escapism going on. But I feel like more often than not, the worlds aren't nearly fleshed out. Maybe I need to see more like longer isekais. But like I don't know, isekai. Especially because it often always is like a fantasy world, right? If we focus more on the fish out of water aspects, where it's like, oh my god, like what happened to my phone? I can't use my phone anymore. Then that'd be cool. But yeah, Isekai is like it's not my favorite. So here you go. Here's my tier list. King Julio from Madagascar. It's funny. So I need to watch horror mystery anime. Joey JPEG. Joey JPEG does sound cool. It's like my stage name. I'm Joey JPEG. Hentai would go on the opposite. I don't think Broske would publicly talk about his hentai addiction, right? He's not going to publicly talk about that. Yeah, no, I mean, I saw you posted, Fen. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Like, if you know magical girl stuff, your expectations are different, right? You would think QB is like just the cool Morgana assistant, but because of me, I'm like, oh, this is obviously evil, right? It's like if I was more accustomed to the foundations of the genre, then I would have a different type. Anyway, it's look, I like Madoka. I like this is not a it's not a not me bashing Madoka. Yeah, I love Madoka. All right, there we go, you guys. I think we're done with the stream. Here is my next list of promises. We're going to finish No Game No Life. Miranda's recommendation. I have a good time with it. Can be a little better, maybe get a little worse. Who knows? Only 3 episodes in. Next up will be The Daily Life of High School Boys because of Broske. And then we will do Blue Lock, which I'm very excited for. This is like one of the big ones I'm like really excited for. I don't know what's next. Maybe Don Don, maybe JJK, maybe Dangers of My Heart. Who the heck knows? It's going to be exciting. I will see if I can finish like 5, 6, 7 more before the end of the year. I'll have a lot of free time, so hopefully. Maybe we'll do another in December. Maybe we'll save it till January. Who the heck knows? Thank you all for watching. I listed 20 shows. I'm going to watch a lot more. The list will eventually run out. I'll tell you that much. Eventually, I'll have watched like a lot of the big ones, and the only things left will be the more like obscure, maybe hidden gems, hopefully. But yeah, I don't know if I'll go like super deep into it. I'm sure that my friends' recommendations are already kind of running out. You know, they've recommended a lot of things. But yeah, no, we'll have fun. We'll have fun no matter what. So, thank you all for watching. That's not getting the genre. That's called being pessimistic. No, it's called not getting the genre. Broske doesn't get a. Fuck, I don't have a good example. Shit, I thought I had a good example. Oh well. Bye bye. See you. I love you. Bye bye. I don't love you. I hate you.